Welcome to Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. Well, we've got a victory against the Chicago Bears, 27-17 Sunday. Week 2 in NFL, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come out victorious. A great win, second win of this season. Shaq Barrett interception at the end of the game sealed the deal. Izzy Oddie, defensive back, intercepted the ball, and that was the end of the victory formation for us. A wonderful win. Mayfield had no turnovers. Mike Evans, 177 yards, one touchdown. Rashad White, one on the ground. Balanced attack, 34 runs, 34 passes. How much more balanced can it be? Good little game. Baker Mayfield escaped a lot of almost sacks. We had 7 total sacks in the game. Joe Tryon-Sharinka, who we give fits here on this show about, got 2 sacks in one game this week against the Bears. Tremendous victory by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Congratulations to every player and the coaching staff. Todd Bowles, congratulations to a victory. And we're 2-0. Big game against the Philadelphia Eagles Monday night. Defending NFC champs in the Super Bowl last year against the Chiefs. Big game on Monday Night Football at Raymond James Stadium this Monday night. And we're hoping the Bucs can come out and win that game. And, of course, go 3-0. But they have had a tremendous season so far at 2-0. They're playing well together. Their defense is gelling. Their offense is coming together. They're doing tremendous, and it keeps the game interesting. And as we said here before, a lot different from the Brady days. It's the Mayfield days. And exactly as we said he would play, he has. And exactly how they would win, they have. So congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a tremendous victory this week. And we did have an injury with Chase Edmonds. A running back was injured during the game. We also lost Carlton Davis before the game. He didn't even play this game. McCollum played his position and might play this week against the Eagles. We don't know. As far as Chase Edmonds, he's out 4 to 6 weeks is what I've heard with an ankle injury. So we're going to bring Keyshawn Vaughn up to the 3rd running back, and I haven't heard if we picked up a 4th running back or not, but other than that, we have no major injuries to report. So all things are looking well for the big game Monday night against the Eagles. It's been a tremendous week 2 of the NFL. A lot of great games. Patriots, Dolphins, to mention a few. But some great games out there last weekend and come this future weekend. So we'll continue to keep you posted on the Buccaneers. But for right now, the running game is better than it was against the Vikings. It was a little more of a balanced attack on the ground. We got a few longer runs, but we stayed with the run. And then we opened up the offense with some passes, some real good passes to Chris Godwin, Palmer, Jarrett, and Evans, of course, and had them looking and not knowing whether we were going to run or pass. So it was a great game scheme. We did have one block punt. Special teams let down during the game. But, you know, we're going to have them things happen, and they happen in every football game no matter what level. Congratulations to the Bucs. We'll keep you posted on this big game Monday night. Get out on Hines and Leroy Street. Get out in that parking lot. Have a good tailgate Monday night. Get in there and let them know they're in Raymond James Stadium. So we'll continue to keep you posted next week on the Bucs. As far as any other major injuries to major NFL players other than the Bucs, there haven't been any on the radar. Cincinnati Bengals have lost 2 straight games, which is not normal for that team. The Patriots have lost a couple, but they've been close, and the Dolphins have won a couple, and they've been close. About where we were in week 1 after week 2, with no major injuries report, and that's good to report. As far as the Sports Talk with the Cowboy pool this week, Joe Young won 12-4 for the week 2 winner. Week 3 papers are out at different locations in the Highlands County area, and also you can go to the comments and pick every game starting Thursday night's game with the 49ers and Giants and list it in your comments and send it to the show, and you will be registered for week 3 of Sports Talk with the Cowboy. You pick them. So get that in before tomorrow night. Now we're going to go to the Major League Baseball. We're going to start with a great announcement of Stu Sternberg, City of St. Petersburg, and Pinellas County to build a brand new $1.3 billion stadium. That's $1.3 billion for the Tampa Bay Rays that will be occupied by the Rays from 2028, 40 years lease with the City of St. Petersburg. Great news, major news. news that we've all been waiting on for over 15 years, what was going to happen with the Rays. We can put that speculation to bed. Tampa Bay Rays will remain in St. Petersburg. You've heard it, Sports Talk with the Cowboy for over 2 seasons with questions, comments about the stadium and whether the Rays will move to Nashville or whether they go to Tampa or what will happen with the Rays. Tonight we can report historic news. The Tampa Bay Rays have agreed to a $1.3 billion new stadium at the Tropicana Field site, along with a $4.7 billion investment in a zone around the stadium to make it a destination for you to vacation there and other things. So it's a big news for the Tampa Bay Rays. We'll get off the stadium news and go into their play. They're in the wild card hunt for the Major League Baseball pennant in the East. They're 3 games back of the Baltimore Orioles, and they were playing the Anaheim Angels tonight. About an hour after this show stops taping will be the first pitch of the Game 3 of that series with the California Anaheim Angels. The Tampa Bay Rays are trying to catch the Baltimore Orioles to become the Eastern champions of the American League. They're 3 games back. They are leading in the wild card, but we would like to catch the Orioles and have an extra week to rest to the division round of the playoffs. But we are playing real well. Had no major injuries. Siri's still out with a broken bone in his hand. We've had to use the starter strategy as we've done before. Glasnow is still on the mound. Natal is still on the mound. And we still have our pitching staff in order with all the losses we've had. We have brung up Bradley from Durham, and he is pitching in the rotation also. Now, the Rays are looking pretty good, but they've got to keep winning, and we hope that the Orioles will lose a few more games so we can catch them. There's only 10 games to go, so we've really got to get going out there with your Tampa Bay Rays, and they're doing a great job, and we hope they can win them a World Series after winning the biggest World Series that you could want with a brand new stadium, and our team's going to stay at home. So that's great news from the Tampa Bay Rays. And in racing this week at Bristol, it was a tough race for Michael McDowell, my driver. He was eliminated from the top 16 drivers. There was a cut of 4 of the drivers in the 16 in the NASCAR playoffs. Now there's 12 drivers remaining, and they will race again this Saturday and Sunday, and we will see who the victor is in NASCAR. But my driver, Michael McDowell, Kevin Harvick, I think Joey Logano, and I'm remiss on one of the other ones, was eliminated at that race in Bristol Saturday night. So that's all with NASCAR. And so now we're going to go to a lot of questions tonight. And the first one's from Alice. And Alice wanted to comment against on the USF Bulls. And Alice from Tampa wanted to tell me that we only were beaten 17-3 in college football by the Alabama Crimson Tide, who were 53-point favorites to beat us by at least 53 points, and they only beat us 17-3. Was that a victory? Yes, it was a victory. You know, Alice, as you watched the game, it was down in the 4th quarter. It was 6-3. The Alabama Crimson Tide, 53-point favorites. So as we all know, we'd have been 53-0 ahead before the kick of the ball. So if we were supposedly gambling top, we had that game pretty much won by the 3rd, 4th quarter. So anyhow, Alice, God bless you for that. USF did a great job. They played Rice this weekend. Let's get out and support Rice getting beat by our USF Bulls, and let's get it back on the track of victory. But a real good game out of 17-3 was not bad. Alabama has had its problems with quarterback, but still the Giant came to town and only beat us 17-3. We played a real tough game. So thank you for your question, Alice, and we'll keep you posted on this Rice game coming up this week. The next one's from Beverly, and Beverly's from Maiden Park, and Beverly wanted to know what I thought about Levante David and Devin White's play with the Buccaneers. And I think that they've done a great job this year so far. They went to the ball, they've worked past coverage, and they've stopped the run, and they've made sacks. So Devin White and Levante David is playing great. And so is Cam Gill, and so is Dennis, the new linebacker we got as a rookie. They've all been playing real well. That defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is playing excellent. Excellent. Had 7 sacks this week. And that's a lot to do with them linebacker corps. They're playing A+. God bless you for your question, and thank you. And the last question is from Tom in Frostproof. And Tom wanted to know what I thought about the Rays and the Tampa Bay Sports Authority's fight over the stadium. Well, Tom, it's over with now. Tampa has not going to get the stadium. They're not going to get it. They didn't have the money, as you heard on this show. DJX and us have discussed this for years, that St. Pete would get it. Why did we know it? Because St. Pete had the money. They had the land and they had the money. Okay, and that makes a difference in the scheme of things. They had the bed tax for $1.50 every time you go to a hotel over there. It goes straight to that stadium. That's what they had. And Tampa never did have the money. They had 11 acres of land. They needed 90, close to 90. And St. Pete had 86, and they had the money. That's why St. Pete won, straight out. And they did win. The Tampa Bay area won. I don't want to always think of Tampa. This is Tampa Bay area. It's what's called the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Tampa Bay Bucks, and the Tampa Bay Rays. It's not called Tampa or St. Pete or Clearwater, Sarasota, or any of that area. It's called Tampa Bay. And so Tampa Bay won. It just happened to be St. Pete's where it's going to be. God bless you for your question. And it's over now in St. Pete's home, and we all know where Tropicana Field is, so we'll be able to find the new one. All right, DJX, what you got for me tonight?
Well, Cowboy, you know what it is. Let's get right off into it, buddy. All right. How can Chiefs improve on their offense?
Start catching the ball, start catching the ball, and start catching the ball.
They got some slip.
They have the problems on the offensive line. Of course, Donovan Smith, our ex-left tackle, is now the left tackle for Mahomes out in Kansas City. And he's had a little bit of difficulty, which he had a little bit last year when he was trying to protect Brady for us.
Yeah.
Of course, he won the Super Bowl as Brady's tackle, too. And they've had a little bit of change on that offensive line. They got a guard, a new tackle. There's a little bit difference in the offense, but it's really not the offensive line's fault. They have not ran the ball with the rookie from Rutgers, Checo. He ran good last year. They haven't ran and had it balanced. They depended on Mahomes to throw. And, you know, it's kind of like the Brady effect. You don't have to worry about the run if you're just going to throw. But you got to catch it when Mahomes throws it.
When he throw it, yeah. 6
straight drops in one game, 6 straight drops, and you lose by a touchdown because the guys 6 times, 3 different receivers twice, dropped the ball right in their hands. You can't do that.
You can't be a receiver if you can't receive it.
You get millions of dollars and they throw 3 different guys that's all getting paid the top dollar twice in a critical game, wide open, nobody even around them. Hit them in the chest, hit them in the hands, and drop it. Hey, what are you gonna do?
They ain't got no catching game.
What you gonna do?
All right. Miami Dolphins, is they contenders or pretenders?
They're contenders. They're contenders for the AFC East. They could win the AFC East. I think the Buffalo Bills and the Patriots and the Dolphins and the Jets are all in a big mixer.
Yeah.
And we said here on this show before the season started, we thought the Dolphins were the champions of the AFC East, and we'll say it again. They are the champions of the AFC. We predicted it. Might not happen. There's 15 more games. We'll see. But right now, yes, I think just by a smidgen. But all of them can win. The Patriots, even though they've lost 2 games, have lost them really close. 1 to the Eagles, 1 to the Dolphins. And when I'm talking within 5 points each, both games, not even a touchdown.
Yeah.
So they're not no pushovers, okay? And we got a lot more football to go. And one injury, like we know with Aaron Rodgers, can end it. And when Jet, gone.
Long way to go yet. All right. Giants rule out 4 starters for Thursday night's game. What you think of that?
I think the Giants are really getting beat up. They got beat up. They were beat up, I think, coming out of training camp. I don't think they were ready. They got beat 40-0, as you know, by the Giants. And of course, you know, they just looked terrible the other day against the Cardinals. Yeah. They look terrible. And you know, sometimes when players overcompensate because other players aren't playing up to par, then they get hurt. I think some of that's happening.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, let's go to the boards. Mike Florio believes George Pickens is not offensive focal point to help Steelers avoid contractual monster.
Well, you know, Pickens, and I wouldn't worry about what he's been doing with the Steelers offensively either. He's okay, but he's not on the top tier as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I thought he would be a little bit better than he was. He's dropped quite a lot of them. He caught some the other night in that big victory by the Steelers over the Browns. He's playing adequately, but Pickens, I wouldn't worry about too much of a contract. He's not a top 10 receiver in my opinion.
Right. All right. Raiders placed defensive end Chandler Jones on NFI list.
That's terrible for the Raiders. Chandler Jones is the best man they got to rush, and he's hurt. And now he's non-functioning for 6 weeks. That means he's gone for 6 weeks. So if you're betting Raider defense, you just lost your best rusher. And the Raiders ain't setting nobody on fire. They're 1-1. They look about what we thought they would be. Not too great, not too bad. Right in the middle, and we don't really know what all these teams will do when they start gelling. But when you got one of your exceptional top 2 players on that side of the ball hurt, it ain't good.
All right, I'm going to leave it off right here. Baker Mayfield. We both know he liked to switch it up. But do you think he's more of a running quarterback or a passing quarterback?
I think Baker's a passing quarterback that's always had to run.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was in Oklahoma, he did the same thing. If his receivers aren't open, he gets a little dancy back. That's when this is before he went to Bucs. He's not actually doing that now, but he liked to throw it,
Mm-hmm.
but he can run it.
Right.
And he has the ability in his mind to say, I will run it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will run that ball. And he will.
He will.
And he does have something unique about him. He's a little bit shorter. He was always only 6'1". He's not 6'5". But he's got this little attribute that the height don't have. Somebody gets close enough to Baker, if you'll notice, he'll sense they're close. And he will move away from them in a way that can tell you he's done this quite a lot of times.
Yeah.
And it served him well. Because they don't know what direction he's going. You know, most people, when they go
Right.
one direction, they're trying to get away from you, go one direction. You can watch him go one direction, then back the other one.
Mm-hmm.
He has this second sense about him. And a lot of quarterbacks never could pick that up. They don't know somebody's right behind.
Right.
Baker's always had that.
He quick on his feet.
And he is. And he will run the ball. He will put in his mind, I'm going to run it.
Run it. Yeah.
But he will throw it.
Oh yeah.
So that's a tough question. But I think if he could stand out there all day and hit a receiver running down the side of the field, he'd like that better than taking that hit.
Yeah. All right. I can agree with that. All right, Cowboy. That's what I got for you.
God bless you, DJX, and God bless you, everybody that supports this show. Continue to support. Continue to send your comments in. I had a lot of good comments about the call this show made of the St. Petersburg receiving the new stadium news this week, and a lot of other things that we have prognosticated that this came to fruition. And thank you for all your comments about the call of the St. Petersburg getting the stadium. We're all a winner, and we're all blessed for that stadium to be here, because generations down the road now, it's 25 years of the Rays, we're going to have our grandkids have a baseball team to call their own. But God bless each and every one of you for coming onto the show, and leave your comments, and be kind to each other. Put a hand out to somebody that needs it, and if you can't, still do it. We need the kindness. God bless you. Cowboy out.